What's going on YouTube? My name is Andy with That Fit Investor, a channel predominantly on literally everything about investing with a little bit of fitness involved with it. So before I get started guys, this video I want you guys to know the things that I'm going to be investing in, the things that you need to have into your assets and your investments are these couple of things. But before we get started guys, if you guys can, please like this video. It's going to help me out tremendously. Also, let's go ahead and get started. So number one, I think that everybody should be collecting is sealed wax. Now, this is a vintage sealed wax. If you guys can see here, this is a Japanese rocket, first edition rocket set. And they're not going to make any more of these. This one has a little emblem, which makes it a little bit more valuable. So these are the ones that I'm investing in right now, because once somebody opens this, this becomes a little bit more scarce. The rarity of this increases because people are opening them and they're not making these anymore. I bought this for about $150. Right now you can get it for about $250 to about $300 for this pack right here. So that has been an investment that I've been pouring heavily into, is sealed wax. If you guys can see, Logan Paul is doing the same thing. He's just at a much different level than me. I can't spend $3.1 million on, first edition, 6 first edition boxes as he did here. Second thing, guys, that I think everyone should start investing in, you can start seeing the stirring happening with these kinds of cards. It is coming into play. So you can still get in early enough. I believe these are going to be big in 2023, 2024, but it's Marvel cards, comic cards, stuff like that. So people are really into the books, like the comic books. I'm starting to throw some money into the cards because people who are into comic books, like Venom, like Spider-Man, like the Marvel stuff, when they realize how much money is involved with the sports cards of things, like the actual card of the comics, I believe that they're going to start switching their money from the comic books into the sports cards, because it's a little bit easier to kind of have, it's smaller to store. So I believe these are going to be bigger than comic books at some point. They're not now, but I believe that it is coming now. I like vintage cards, not the newer stuff. So I would stick with the vintage cards. So we have sealed wax, sealed with vintage wax, then we have vintage comic book cards. The third thing that I think everybody should get involved with is soccer. Americans have started to be more inclusive on soccer. They're starting to get into the sport a little bit heavier because the USA team is starting to kind of get a little bit good. And in the past, the guys, USA has not been a team to be feared in the World Cup. But they are getting better and better. Last World Cup, they did pretty well, better than they have any other year. So I believe that sports cards are going to start seeing a rise. Now remember guys, when Latinos watch soccer, it's the most popular sport in the world, believe it or not. When I start seeing Latinos watch sports and start getting into investing, I believe that they're going to start correlating soccer into their investments, and I think these kinds of cards are going to skyrocket in the future. They're starting to have a little buzz right now. Golden is selling David Beckham cards, selling Messi cards. This is a Neymar, autographed Neymar, which is pretty pricey. I can sell this for about $1,000, and I bought it for about $200. Again, I've been holding it for quite some time, so it's taking a while, but I still don't think it's at its peak right now. So the last thing that I think everybody should get into, guys, is huge. Just like soccer fans, these kinds of fans are really diehard and they love this kind of sport, if you can call it a sport, but is wrestling cards. Wrestling cards right now are extremely underrated, undervalued right now, because right now it's basketball, football, the top American sports right now are raking in the sports card investing. But when people start to see the basketball stuff and the football stuff start to decline, they're going to start throwing their money elsewhere. And I believe that the fandom, the community of wrestling is extremely loyal. Not only do they watch like the televised version, I have friends that watch like the smaller end versions, the garage kind of wrestling. So when they start realizing that they can start tokenizing and start making money, investing into their sports cards, I believe that you're going to start to see a skyrocket in pricing on these. So guys, these are the ones that I kind of have my eye on. I'm not really investing into football right now, into basketball, just because it's the market's so volatile right now, because PSA is coming open and all these cards are flooding the market. That's why you see Zion cards selling now for $180 when they were once $800. So I'm starting to see a change in the near future, and this is what I believe I'm going to be throwing my money into, which is sealed vintage Pokemon, soccer cards, and wrestling cards. So you guys can do whatever you want. Let me know down below. Do you think I'm wrong or right? Alright guys, until the next time, peace.